After 3 years, 3 Prime Ministers, 2 extensions, and countless motions, amendments, votes and speeches, the UK has now really, officially, undoubtedly, definitely, absolutely left the European Union.
Great, we can all move on with our lives, right?
Well, no, not quite.
What?
You're joking.
A new countdown has been initiated, with crunch time set for the end of the transition period, when the UK and Europe hope to have a blueprint for their future relationship. There's a lot to sort out and not much time to do it, but until then, the UK and EU's relationship will remain basically the same. But as of the 1st of January 2021, things are going to be a little different. Brits travelling in EU countries will need to apply for an ETIAS visa waiver. This will grant holders free movement for 90 days at a time in Schengen countries. The visa will be valid for 3 years and cost about £6. Brits can use their current passports until they expire, but after the transition period, you'll need at least 6 months left on it to enter the EU. Oh, and by mid-2020, any new ones will have made like a Labour heartland and turned blue. Brits could have separate queues at airports and may have to show an onward ticket as well as enough cash for their stay. Drivers will need an international driving permit, while Brits living in Europe will need to swap their British driver's licence for a local one. Many of the changes will hinge on what shape the future relationship takes, and that will be decided by specialists hired by both sides to take part in an almost year-long Brexit battle royale, the first shots of which have already been fired.
And we are limbering up to use nerves and muscles and instincts that this country has not had to use for half a century.
Top of the agenda will be trade, in particular, free trade. Both sides are keen to keep their trading relationship as free as possible, but as the UK is now able, and very keen, to strike trade deals with other countries around the world, the EU doesn't want British businesses gaining an advantage.
We must now agree on specific and effective guarantees to ensure a level playing field over the long term. That means mechanism to uphold the high standards we have on social, environmental, climate, tax and state aid matters today and in their future developments.
Boris Johnson, on the other hand, has stated he intends to do no such thing.
There is no need for a free trade agreement to involve accepting EU rules on competition policies, subsidies, social protection, the environment, or anything similar.
He wants a Canada-style free trade agreement.
What is that?
This would see tariffs abolished on the majority of goods traded between the two sides, though Canada has paltry exceptions on some food, including chicken and eggs. Critics say this can lead to more border checks, a price Boris has already said is worth paying. While Boris and Barnier are battling it out in Brussels, the world will be awash with UK officials looking to secure new markets for UK goods and services. The US appears to be the #1 priority, and US officials have vowed to work day and night to deliver a bumper trade deal. Britain has already sorted 20 rollover deals with countries including the titans of industry, Kosovo, Liechtenstein and the Faroe Islands. But Boris is also keen to rekindle trade with Commonwealth countries,
which now has some of the fastest growing economies in the world.
As well as trade, the UK and EU will need to decide how they'll cooperate on security, fisheries, law enforcement, aviation, defence, foreign policy, telecommunications. And with Boris Johnson adamant there will be no extensions to the transition period, one thing's for certain, there'll be no time for hanging about.